Good morning, Ali. Happy New Year. A very happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. So, good morning, and I hope you all had your breakfast and you are having a good time spending this first day of the new year. So, I just wish that hope you all get all the success and happiness, everything which you have dreamt of. And also, one more thing, and I hope you get that courage to, uh, learn and go with the flow, and also learn to handle your lessons whichever you get. So yeah. Yeah, a very good morning, and also very happy new year. I hope you all spent your like, yeah, wonderful. Okay. I'm audible, right? Am I audible? Am I audible, guys? It's okay, Ali. It's everything is fine. Okay, no worries. Am I audible? Okay, that's great. That's great. I'm so happy that we all are, uh, you know, um, getting to meet here. That too on the New Year's Day. So that's great, right? Okay, let us start with the session. Okay, so we'll go with the critical thinking today. So these, we have done a lot of weeks in 2020, right? So let us start with a new way of approaching the things, and also let us start something which is we haven't learned yet. So see, every day is a learning, every day is a new day. So every, you can just consider that, and be positive. So everything is going to be all right. It takes time. Okay, so everything takes time. So if something is not going fine, or if something you're not finding it as happening, just be patient and just wait for the correct time to come on your way. Okay, so everything will be right. That's the only thing that you have to think about. Okay, so let us start. As I said, today we are going to see what is critical thinking, and what are the things which you have to understand, and what are the points which you have to remember, everything. Okay, so everything which is about critical thinking. Now, so first thing is, what is critical thinking? Basically, what is critical thinking? So critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and rationally, and also understanding the logical connection between ideas. See, for example, let us say I want to, I want to decide on something. Okay, I want I want to decide on something, or I'm planning to planning to think about something. It is my ability to clearly understand the points related to that, and also understand the logical connection between the ideas. Okay, so that is what I call it as critical thinking. So critical thinking is kind of a subject which has been taught to all the which has been learned by all the philosophers and all. So just to make sure that to recognize what is the fake news. So it's very important for you to understand, or to get to know what is a fake news and what is the real news. So that is what we call it as create critical thinking. Okay, so critical thinking also requires you to use your ability to reason. So it is about being an active learner rather than a passive a recipient of information. So it's very important. So critical thinkers, let us say we are critical thinkers. So critical thinkers rigorously question ideas and also assumptions, rather than accepting them at face value. So we have to do all these assumptions, we have to do all these all these assumptions, question these assumptions, question these ideas and everything, so that we can understand the reason and also put all of these things in order. That's what we call it as critical thinking. Okay, so here you can see critical thinking is the attempt to ask and answer questions systematically, not if it's not to others, it's for yourself. Okay, because thinking, okay, so asking the most useful questions in the most productive sequence in order to yield a coherent and credible story. So, see, for example, you may have seen in the news, right? So in the news, they'll be not getting a complete story. What they'll be doing? So they'll be getting a just or just just a news, or just a proper just a proper kind of small short story for them. And then they start thinking about that. Then they start doing all these researches, and then they start going behind these assumptions, behind these realities, everything, and they finally set up a story, right? You may have seen all these news channels where they set up a proper story. So that is what we call it as critical thinking. So combining everything and forming a proper story without any assumptions or without any fake news, that is what we call it as critical thinking. So now, when I see asking the questions instead of accepting the face value, what do you mean by that? Okay. See, for example, first one, separating reliable facts from false assumptions. Now, so there are a lot of false assumptions which are going on. So, like for example, if I consider a superstitious uh, assumption, okay, so they say that a black cat, whenever a black cat crosses you, so that means it's a bad luck, right? So that means it's a bad luck, they say that. So it's called as a false assumption. So basically, so we just have to separate the reliable facts. Now what is the reason behind that? So everything has a scientific reason. So that is why we usually say that. And sometimes it is considered that whenever a black cat is going, and it just that partially makes you blind for the color, or partially makes you blind for all those the lights. So that's why they wait for a few minutes so that they can move afterwards. So there are some reasons for each and every superstitious things that our ancestors have been set. So that's why we have to just separate the reliable facts from the false assumptions. This is an example I have taken. It's not the actual thing, or it's not actual things which are related to your day to day life. I'm just taking some examples here. And also look for the evidence and also good reasons before believing something to be true. Now, for example, most of the times what they say is these accidents and all happen, right? So I have taken an example of a cat uh, walking across across you, so that wherever you will be waiting for a few minutes. That's what I took the example. Now, so you have to look for the evidence. Like, for example, is it true? Or if it is true, what are the bad lucks that have been happening? So most of the times you get the bad lucks as the accidents and all, right? So you just put them in a category of bad luck. It's not every time. Most of the times what happens is there may be some accidents, and sometimes there may not be some accidents, which I have also experienced. See, it's a lot of times cats have been walking across the road, and I won't stop most of the times. Okay, so that is why I won't stop most of the times, and nothing bad had happened. So there are a lot of evidences where they show that it's not true, and there are also some evidences which say that they are true. So you have to find a good reasons for believing that, and also before believing something to be true. Okay, now this is a case which we are going to study, throughout the session. So during World War One, head injury among soldiers was very high, and soldiers took a long time to recover. So we have to evaluate this case. Okay, so we have to evaluate this case. So we'll see everything, like what is the structure of any question. See, first thing is, whenever you have a question, or whenever you have a case, or whenever you have some of the facts to be evaluated, the first thing is the structure of the whole critical thinking process. Okay, whole critical thinking process. Now, so first thing what we'll do is we'll keep these topics or issues or titles in the in between. So that is our topic, or our issue is that during World War, so a lot of soldiers had a head injury and they took a lot of time to recover. That is our issue, right? So first is description. So first, when we describe the error, like first we describe the issue. That is, for example, what. Okay, so what is the issue basically? So the issue is that there have been, head injury. So that is the issue, right? So first is what, when, who, and where. Okay, all these four questions you have to answer. Like for example, this process where we are doing this case, which I have taken in the last slide, so that will be seeing. And also I want to take up some simple, very simple example relating to this. Okay, relating to this. So for example, I'll take the case as, we all of us, so we are having, okay, so we all are going for a trip. Let us assume that we are going for a trip, so that too for uh, a beach area. Okay, so a beach area. And so since we have played a lot in the sea water, like there, in the beach, so we all are feeling itchiness in our body. Okay, so this is just a issue, simple issue I have taken. So we all are feeling itchiness in our body. Just assume these things. Now, first, let us describe it. So, what is the issue? The issue is that we all are feeling itchiness in our body, right? So we all are feeling this thing when we went to beach, and when we went to beach, okay? Or let us say when we were on a trip, okay? Who? We all, right? So, who is facing the issue? We all are facing the issue, right? We all are facing the issue. Now, where and when, you can, interchangeably answer that. When is literally the time period. So since we don't have a time period for this example, I'm just taking this as similar one. Okay, where, so when we went to the beach, that is for a trip, so we had this issue, right? So we described our issue. So what did we describe? So that is when, what, when, who, and where. What is nothing but, we had itchiness in our body. Then when we went to beach, and also we all had this issue, right? So that description part is done. So this is completely about model to generate a critical thinking. So in deep, we'll be learning, or we'll be understanding these things in the next upcoming slides. I'm just giving you a overview of the things. Okay, overview of the things. Next is analysis. Now we have to do the analysis of the issue. Okay, so why is this issue happening? Why is this issue happening? Let us say that some of us may be allergic to water, some of me, not completely water. So some of we may be allergic to salt water, or some of we may be allergic to the sand, or some of we may be allergic to some or the other thing, right? So it's that case. So the question why is answered by analyzing the things related to that. Okay, so I gave you a lot of different answers, like for why. That is maybe, so why are we feeling this itchiness? So probably we are allergic to something. We are allergic to salt water, we are allergic to salt, we are allergic to sand, we are allergic to any other things, like sea creatures. You know that those small creatures will be there in the sand, right? So probably that, something like that, right? So something like that. Next is the question how. Okay, how did this happen? So how did this happen? So we went there, since our body is touched with the sand or salt water, so we that caused the itchiness, right? So that's caused the itchiness. If we have not gone to play in the beach, like we just have sat on the, we just have sat on the seashore, so that would have been better, and we would have not felt that thing, right? So that is the thing. Next thing is we have to evaluate. Okay, so evaluate. Now, what next? So what if? Okay, so what next? So what and what if? First one is what next. So now we already are feeling itchy. What we have to do next to avoid this, or what we have to do next to get well soon. So we can use some ointments, or we can just wash our legs and our body through cold water, which is the proper normal water. So there are some ways. Or if the allergy is too much, we can go to hospital. So this way. So what next is, in the sense, what is the next step we have to take. Okay, so next is so what. Okay, so what. So now we all already allergic. So this is a question which we have to probably answer in a positive way. Because see, even though we are failing in something, so what we have to do next. Okay, so in that way, next is what if. So what if is nothing but, like, for example, what if the allergy is too much, and it starts burning a lot. What if something goes wrong? What if it's not actually an allergy? So in that way, you have to answer all these questions to be successful in the critical thinking. Now, these are the common question words. First, starters. So you may have seen these: starters, main course, and dessert, right? So that is the same kind here. Starters and follow by. So starters are nothing but what, who, where, when, how, and why. Okay, these are the question tags which you don't have to put to others. It is the thing that you have to put to yourself. Okay, put to yourself. Next, follow by. So follow by is nothing but what if, what next, and so what. This is following up. Okay, so the points which are following up are given here. Now, as I said, first one is describing. So to describe is to clearly define what you are talking about, say exactly what is involved and where it takes place, or under what circumstances. Okay, under what circumstances. Let us say that I have given you I have given you the case, that is, we have gone to beach, and there is something that we all are facing the allergy, and that's what I have. So now, if I ask you people to describe the issue, how would you describe the issue completely? So you can just write point by point. Okay, point wise. So I don't want you people to answer everything at one go. So you can answer them in point wise. So I'm fine with that. Yes. I have already given you a case. If you want to take some other case, and if you want to answer my question in that way, that's also fine. But make sure that you write your case uh, in the chat box. Okay. Yep. Go with that. And I really want an answer, and I'm expecting you people to give an answer. Okay. So let's be active today. Oh, was one was waiting till 12 a.m. to celebrate New Year. Okay. I was waiting till 12 a.m. to celebrate New Year. Great. That was the case. So, what is the complete description you can say? Like, what are you talking about? Say exactly what is involved in it and where it takes place or under what circumstances. Everything should be included in that. So, yes, Ibrahim, I hope everybody have celebrated it in a very good way, right? Okay, let's go with the next point here. So basically an interaction of a topic. So your critical thinking, whenever you decide or whenever you have a issue in front of you, first thing you have to do is describe the issue. Okay, so describe your issue properly, and that's how you try to understand what your issue is and what you have to do next. Okay. Okay, very good, Abraham. It's great. Nice. Now, now what you have to do is analyze your case. Okay, analyze your case. So that is to analyze is to examine and explain how parts fit into a whole given reasons. Okay, compare and also contrast different elements and show your understanding and relationships. Okay, see, let us say, see, basically what you have to do is analyze the every situation. Analyzing every situation is very important. Okay, so that's how you basically understand what are the things you have to put together, or what are the things that you have to uh, understand. Okay. So now, before going into others, okay, what I'll do is I'll give you one case, okay, just orally. Okay, I'll just give you answer, just give you one case. Go with that case, and then we'll go with these things, and you have to answer my questions with that. Okay, so listen to my case very carefully. So let us say that you are on, let us say, okay, so let us say that you are working at night. Okay, so you are doing your project work or something at night, and when you are working on that, you hear a laughter. Okay, so you hear a laughter and loud talking beside your room. Okay, people are talking loudly or laughing loudly. Let us say you are in a hostel and you are working late night to do some paperwork of your project, and you hear laughter and loud talking beside your room, or let us say somewhere in your hostel. Okay, so as you approach the people, so you enter the room. Okay, so to find that the teachers, okay, so teachers, like let us say male teachers and their family are consuming alcohol. Let us say are consuming alcohol. So what is your next decision, or what do you do next, or what is your next decision based on your ethics or fear? Okay, so this is your case. Okay, this is your case. Now, first thing is description. First thing was description. Let us say description I have already given because I explained the case. So now second thing is analyzing the situation. Now, as I have already given the case, I hope you understood what was my case given to you. That is, you are doing a paperwork. Okay, each of you consider yourself in that place. You are doing a paperwork for your project or for some assignment or something, and your male faculties or your male teachers are also living with you in the hostel. And so late night, so you hear you hear a loud laughter, and also people are talking loudly. And when you just go and see who are they sitting, so you see that your faculty and their family members, some of their family members are all have also come, and they all are consuming alcohol. So what is your next step, or the what is the case you will think about, or what is your decision that you're going to do? So before going to the end, so we will analyze the situation. So what do you mean by analyze? To analyze is to examine and explain how parts fit into a whole given reasons, compare, contrast, and everything, completely analyze the forms. So basically, basically forms the main part of any of the in-depth study. So that's why whenever a case study is given to you, just try to analyze everything. Okay, so now I have given you the case, so your part is to analyze this situation and tell me, how do you analyze it? How do you analyze it? Okay, come on, guys. You need to analyze the situation. Okay, let us say that we are analyzing the situation. Okay, so let us say that we are analyzing the situation. Now, analysis of situation is just that. Okay, so we enter the room and we see that all are, consuming the alcohol. So we'll see how many people are there and who are those people, and so who are those people who are not our teachers and everything. So that is called as analysis. Okay, now, evaluate. So, to evaluate is to judge the success or failure of something, its implications, and also or value. Like, for what is the success or what is the failure that we have to face. So, evaluation just leads us to the conclusion or recommendations, and usually found at the end of the topic. So, evaluating is very important. Like, if I decide something like this, so what will happen to me? Or what will happen to my success, or what will happen to my situation? Everything is important. Now let us say that the same case which I have already given you, so try to evaluate that and give me some of the evaluation results. Give me some of the evaluation results. Okay, very good, Ibrahim, very good, wonderful. Go with the evaluation of this. Come on, evaluate the situation. Okay, I would tell sir to stop consuming alcohol as it will be very bad for your health, sir, and it will be an addiction for you, sir. Okay. So will that person listen? Okay. So evaluating is something that what will happen once I, decide something, thinking about those things. Like, for example, my faculty or my teacher may get angry on me in that way. Okay. Now, so generating critical thinking. So first you have to identify a concept or identify a issue. So this is the topic or issue you might want to, explore in a particular section or paragraph. So write down the keywords which are necessary in the middle of the sheet of paper, so or a blank document screen, so that you can understand it better. Okay, and also try to answer the questions. So starting with what questions, your answers may become part of an introduction, and defining your terms or identifying issues are very important. Okay. So using the who, when, and where questions, so you have to generate descriptive background and information. So this will be, provide context or scene setting material, which is also useful for an introductory section. So this is how you have to use the words. Now, so using of how. So first thing, as we saw, so that is using who, when, and where. So now try to elaborate the situation using these words: who, when, and where. Who, when, and where. Okay, I'll give the attendance link now. So here you go with the attendance. Are you able to? Can you check once that whether it's? Are you able to use that link? And here you go with the feedback link. Okay. Now, so using how question. So how requires consideration of the ways that something operates or works, processes or procedures. So attempting to answer the questions using how takes you from the descriptive to more analytical work. So when you are trying to analyze the situation, it helps you out with a lot of points in this. Okay, so now try to analyze the given same situation in the same way, using the word how. Using the word how. It's okay if you don't tell me in the chat box, because I know it may take up bigger sentences. So I will think that you people are analyzing the things. So, yeah, analyze the given situation, that is the case which I have already given, using the word how, and how requires the consideration of the ways that something operates or works. Okay, so I hope you analyze the things. Next, using the why question. So why also moves you deeper into analytical territory. So it gets you to find reasons, explanations, or causes. So it helps you to find reasons, explanations, or causes. So it gets you to find reasons, explanations, or causes. So see, think about. Very good, Ibrahim. How come there is so much laughter today? This is the question that you can put. Okay, so using the why question. So, how do you use why question in this situation? How do you use why question in this situation? Think about all the possible questions which you can do with the word why, because that is when you get the analyzation of all these. Okay, so why the weather is so windy? Ali, go with the situation which I have given. Okay, so next, Ibrahim. Okay, I think everyone were watching Kapil Sharma show. Okay, great, great. Okay, why is everyone laughing today? I think some people were watching IPL 2020 matches. Okay, so next, generating critical thinking. So now using what if question. So see, asking questions using what if moves you into a more evaluative phase of your thinking. So it helps you to consider the possible implications or results. So that's the predictive work that can be done. Okay, so try to analyze the situation with the word what if. Try to analyze this with what if. Okay, so all these questions have been answered. So let's see. Next, generating critical thinking using so what question. Okay, so what is really the key question for all the evaluations. So it gets you thinking about value or values, meaning or significance. Okay, so also it gives you the discrimination between more or less important factors in any of the situations. So it helps you to think through and justify your own position and also discuss its implications. Okay. Next is what next. So always keep this in mind that this what next refer to the recommendations and predictions that your argument has brought to the light. So it leads you to consider and plan for more specific actions and that might be necessary in certain kinds of assignments. Okay. So also such as project or business report, all these. Now this is the thing here. What is this about? What is the context or situation? What is the main point or problem or topic to be explored? And where is nothing but where does it takes place? Who is or nothing but who is this by? Who is involved? Who is affected? Who might be interested? Next, when does it occur? And how is nothing but how did this occur? How did it work? Or how does one factor affect another? And how does the how do the parts fit into the whole? Okay, some of the things. Next, analysis, that is the word why. So why did this occur? Why was that done? Why is argument or theory or suggestion or solution? Next, what if. So what if this were wrong? What are the alternatives? What if there were a problem? What if this or that factor were or added or removed? Okay, so next is so what. So what is nothing but what does this mean? Why is this significant? Is this convincing? What are the implications? Is it successful? How does it meet the criteria? It doesn't matter that you use the word or not, so it should be relatable. That's it. Next is what next. So is it transferable? How and where else can it be applied? Then what can be learned from it? What can be learned from it? Then what needs doing now? What needs doing now? Okay, so this is how we go through all these situations. So evaluation, analysis, and the description of critical thinking are very, very important. Okay, so this is it for the day. So we'll be coming to the end of the session. Okay, so thank you so much for attending and have a great day, guys. So it was a pleasure meeting you people here in the online session, that too on the New Year's Eve. So thank you so much and have a great day.